Well, thank you
Okay.
for joining us. We have Miss Modi here, who's a teacher, and I know a lot of parents are struggling right now with their kids at home and discovering a lot of things about them, but also struggling to, how to deal with them while they're trying to work from home. How do you help the kids? A lot of people are maybe losing their minds a little bit. So how have you been able to do that for all these years and control not just one, but like teach 20 or 30 kids at a time?
Well, I got into teaching because bottom line is I love children and I love working with children. And I think I'm a big kid myself. So I'm able to kind of connect and relate with a lot of them. And also I did the training on how to work with children and I have a lot of patience for children. So I can understand, for me, 25 kids in a classroom, for me that might be chaos for someone, but for me that's really my happy place. And for me, I'm struggling not being around children. I mean, I can teach online, I can give great lessons, I can teach math, I can assess, but at the end of the day, I'm missing being with children. So that's really where it comes from. It comes from the heart. So I can understand this might be difficult for a lot of parents because they're not wearing the role of a teacher. They're still, in the eyes of their child, the parent.
What are some of the tips or suggestions you can that parents should kind of keep in mind as they're trying to prepare lessons or make sure the kids are doing their work and paying attention and all that kind of stuff?
First of all, I would tell parents to just take a deep breath and be kind towards themselves, because if they're coming into the situation wanting to sit down and do a math lesson with their child and they themselves are stressed or irritated, children pick up on that right away. Children pick up on energy. They sense it. So if you're coming into the situation already stressed, your child's going to pick up on that. Second of all, children love structure. They thrive off structure. And in a classroom, everything is structured. From the minute they wake up until they go home, every hour there's a section for recess. There's a section for learning math or having their lunch. So now these kids have no structure. They're sleeping in, they're having lunch at a different time. So I would say if parents could even just create a small schedule, like take a calendar, put something on the fridge that says, you're going to get up at 9 and you have your breakfast. And then after breakfast, we're going to read a story. And then after the story, we'll take a break. So creating that schedule with your child, I think, is key. And do that schedule with your child. Let them be a part of the process. They know a schedule from school. They already know how it works. So let your child be a part of that schedule and say, what would you like to do after math? Would you like to take a break? Would you like to have a snack after math? Would you like to read a book? So, make that schedule part of the process that you both work on together. Children cannot sit and retain information longer than 10 to 15 minutes. So you need to schedule some breaks. Maybe read a story, take a break. Come back and do some math, take a break. If you're going to sit down with a child and expect them to learn everything in an hour or two, that's not going to happen. And I think parents feel pressured. There's so much work. They have to cook dinner. They have to send this assignment back to their teacher. But I think it's important to give kids breaks, and the parents need the break, right?
I can imagine and they're trying to balance their own work as they're trying to do it from home. And then the kids, are all over the place. It's quite challenging. And we had our talk with a physiotherapist last week, and she was saying, maybe parents can take shifts. The morning is one parent, the other parent the afternoon or whatever, if your family has that capability. But it's really quite a challenge for everybody right now. So what are some other tips maybe for children right now that's kind of dealing with their parents the entire day?
I think children want to they want to be loved, and they're also, they're very forgiving beings. I would encourage children to get back into that creativity and maybe write a letter to their parents and say, thank you, Mom, for helping me with my homework, or thank you, Dad, for cooking dinner, and making them feel like, they're a part of the family, in the sense of feeling gratitude, and feeling a sense of being able to give back. Children love to feel like they make a difference, like they're giving back. It's the beautiful stories you hear of children that collect their pocket money to donate to a charity, or children are volunteering, or children feel sad when they see a video of like a little animal being eaten or something. When we watch science videos, they have a lot of empathy, and they don't always necessarily understand what they're feeling. And I think giving children an outlet to draw a picture for a family member when they're feeling frustrated, or giving children a hug, or even a parent just saying, look, I know maybe you're around me too much, would you like a break from me? Would you like to go draw a picture for your sister? You want to write a letter to your grandma? Maybe we can mail it. So I think also giving children some accountability and some responsibility, and make them feel like they're not just the child, like they can offer something and do something, is really important. So I think when they're maybe even being around their parents too much, maybe giving them a responsibility board, that they're in charge of helping with the dishes that day, or making their bed, or they're in charge of writing a letter to a friend or something like that, would be a great way to just give them that little boost of confidence.
I like how you framed it, the responsibility board instead of the
Yes.
chore board.
Yeah, don't call it a chore. We call it like we call them happy helpers, right?
It's
Happy
all about
helpers.
framing. You know what? It's very interesting, how you're saying, we should show gratitude. I mean, adults, we should probably practice a little bit more of that as well. So I think these are some great tips for families, parents, and children alike, going through this time of being quarantined, and staying with your family 24/7. There's a lot of pressures and stuff like that, but having some structure and showing some gratitude and appreciation for each other can go a long way, especially if we're starting to feel irritated or stressed, to take that break and calm down and come back to the situation. I think these are
And
all
I
fantastic tips.
and I think what really is the key, which is something I have shared with my parents. So I don't mind sharing it for all parents, because I understand everyone's going through it. At the end of the day, I know this education is looking different. Um, and it's only temporary, and it's not the end of your world. Teachers, we want parents to be healthy and happy. We want our students to be happy and healthy. And we will get through this. We will get them caught up. It's just a matter of, we have to just get through this temporary, it's just a pause. We will get through it. So don't feel, like there's a lot of pressure right now. So I think parents just need to, again, be kind to yourself and just breathe. We're going to get through this, and things will get back to normal.
Sounds wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us and
You're
sharing with us.
welcome.